was. But anyways, yeah, it was like a fake bio follow-up to the 2x Reaper. This 2x Reaper generally just turns into 3 Reapers into expansion, and then so on and so forth. We'll talk about that as we get to it. And so, yeah, the Reapers being made. And it should just stop at these 3. Yeah, you sends the SCV to that 3rd base, or that natural location. Starts that command center up. And, yeah, we'll see where he wants to go from here tech-wise. The first Reaper going to jump up into the main base. Be a little bit annoying up here. Is getting a... Oh, he's adding 3rd racks right now at home. So, yeah, 3 racks follow-up. Okay, so we'll see if he adds the 4th racks. The 4th racks is something we've seen Byun do recently. But the 3 racks is much more common, right? So here's the tech lab, and here's the reactor. You know, he'll go stim, he'll go combat shields. But basically, if you add the 3rd racks, you're going to have a very heavy marine move out. Ooh! And if Dark misbalances his Zergling production, then, you know, you can end up doing a lot of damage with it, honestly. And, you know, there's actually kill potential on the 3rd base with it. Just throwing that out there, right? Like, we don't have the 3rd hatch started yet. And these Reapers have actually done pretty darn well, I would say. Like, I like how busy he's kept him so far. Layer gets started as the Reaper goes out. He is getting the factory nice and quickly here as well. That 3rd rack's getting a reactor built upon it. Oh, I wonder, actually, taking a look at this, I wonder if he's just going to use that extra barracks he made to make that add-on. Is there any chance that he goes like Reactor Hellion here? That would be really weird. I've never seen anything like that, so I don't think so. I think he'll probably just go Tech Lab and make a starport, but we'll see in a second. Yeah, he's just making Marines out of it. Just sometimes when you see buildings placed together like that, you gotta wonder. You're like, huh, could this be something else? Could he have some sort of really interesting ideas about, you know, getting a quick reactor here for like something we don't normally see? That's not going to be the case. Making a reactor on his factory, no doubt, for this starport that's being built underneath. But here's the move out of Marines. It's actually like a very... It's a lighter move out than a lot of these move outs that we've seen lately. Maybe a little bit quicker than a lot that we've seen as well. Roaches on the way. Queens are already out. Can't really imagine too much damage here, right? He has stim. Gonna jump on the Queens. Well, I say you can't imagine too much damage here. But we were talking about balancing the counts of Zerglings, and I mean, he had 0 and loses his Queens right away. I guess with the stim, he felt like he couldn't quite retreat. He didn't really have too much going on there. All right, trying to run back now from these roaches. Medevacs are on the way. 5 Marines being produced at a moment. I wonder if it's ever good to turn and fight there. Probably not. I don't think they really... You get like 2 volleys off maximum before they shoot back. Probably doesn't work. All right, so double Evo coming up. Oh, a nice little pick off there on the Overseer. Going after this 3rd base location. The Roaches are out, though, and once his Roaches get out, he does start to get a much nicer looking defense going. Not a lot of Queens at the moment, though. Look at this. Gumiho targeting down, focus firing so unbelievably well. Going after the Queens as well. He won. That's it. Damn, dude. I gotta tell you, like, Dark was a little bit off there. Like, the Marine move out was... It was lighter than we normally see with that 3 racks play, but I think it's because it was slightly faster. And Dark just was not ready. One thing I've seen some other Zergs do is sacrifice an Overlord against that build. After the command center, is you send an Overlord in, and then you see exactly what they're doing, right? I think I saw that specifically. Someone playing again. I think it was Solar against Bjorn, if I'm remembering correctly. And I really liked it. I really liked that Overlord sack because it just, you're like, okay, now I'm ready for everything. Because as soon as you see the follow-up building, like the building and the two buildings that come after the command center, you know everything. And you can just block it. So, yeah I kind of like that previously. I believe that was Solar that did that last week. Okay, let's go. Next game, game 2. Moving right along. All right, we got Dark in the top right of Ancient Cistern. In the bottom left, we have Gumiho. That was really smart of the Terran Player Research System upgrade. Well done. Did I watch the US Open? No, I don't. I don't really watch sports live or anything. I just check out clips of shit on YouTube generally. But no, I haven't seen anything from it. Okay. Oh, it's going to be a command center first. Okay. A nice build order rotation here from Gumi, right? Like, gets, like, kind of a pressure into a kill. Follows it up with a very fast command center first, which is obviously he's going to get away with very, very easily here. So nothing too much to say about that. So command center goes down, as well as that barracks. It's going to take Dark a little bit to figure out exactly what's going on here. I gotta imagine it has to be kind of frustrating for Zerg players playing against command center first. Because there's not really a counter to it. It's solid. Like, obviously you're not really getting any scouting done as Gumiho or anything like that, but you can kind of play blind and just get, like, a very good SCV count. So, I do think about that sometimes. We had one season where there were so many command center firsts. It was actually, I was traveling during it. I think it might have been a super tournament that I like missed because I was traveling or something, and then there was just like a ton of command center first plays. Yeah, I believe that's what it was, actually. No. It was the first part of Season 3, 2022, I believe, where we had a ton of command center first. Anyways, whatever. It doesn't matter. But it's kind of funny because the 2-Rax Reaper builds have actually been more popular recently than that. Now, we have a Reaper coming out, so the Reaper is still going to be out in plenty of time to stop any Zerglings from coming in. There are a couple Zerglings coming across the map as Dark goes to make his third base. Oh, I like it. Double factory. Okay, this is cool. This is cool. Okay, we have to assume this is going to be 2-factory Blue Flame Hellion. Because of the timing of it, it kind of looks like that to me. Now, that being said, I guess we don't have to assume that, okay? Obviously, Battle Mech is, like, pretty popular, but I feel like you would start this with 2-factory Blue Flame. I feel like that is going to... it's going to give you this funny win potential really, really quickly. And you're going to have that add-on, so like you can always make a Siege Shank if your opponent's going Heavy Roach, something like that. Anyways, we'll see in just a moment. But very cool to see here out of Gumiho, the command center first into 2-factory. And, I mean, there are a lot of options that this could be. Now, the Lings coming in actually do somewhat substantial damage. 4 SCVs is really, really solid, right? Suddenly, Dark is ahead in workers already. Now, will he start that Blue Flame? Oh, okay, never mind. Magfield. So it is just going to be straight into Battle Mech, okay? So it's going to be Cyclone plus Hellion. Battle Mech, you know, it's because it's Mech looking for a battle, right? That's the thought process behind the name. Because most mech builds, it's like you're building up to critical mass. Here, you actually have to fight consistently with this. If you just sit in your base and make Cyclone Hellion, it's like the shittiest composition that you can make. It's incredibly weak and incredibly bad. But if you're out fighting all the time, putting pressure onto your opponent with it, picking off units, grinding them down, then suddenly it's a really reasonable unit set that you're going for. Now, he is sacrificing this Overlord. I was talking about this against a different strat, but I love to see it regardless. Seeing the 2 factories, seeing the upgrade. I mean, he's going to see the Cyclone pop out, so there's not even the question, is this Blue Flame or not? And bam, I think he even saw that medevac. So yeah, we have some units going into the main base to stop the Hellion drop. Third command center gets started. And of course, as Magfield finishes up, we're going to see Gumiho getting out of the map and trying to put some pressure on. We're going to need to see some more factories as well, of course. Wouldn't mind seeing an armory pop up relatively soon also. Good solid defense. Oh, wow. This is such a teched out build from Gumiho. The fact that he's opened up with Battle Mech, but a Hellion drop to start that after the command center first. And he did go into a Viking to push back Overlords, but now going into Banshee with Cloak as well. Really not something that I was expecting to see, but cool to see nonetheless. Of course, Gumiho has been a pretty good Banshee guy in the past as well. Roach is trying for a counterattack, but he does have these Cyclones with Magfield, and he's about to have a Banshee, and the Banshee's going to do fantastically. Look, a lot of these units chasing this back, but Dark, very importantly, sends another group of units into the natural. That's the really, really important part. So Dark is getting some decent counter damage, but as the Banshee pops out, you know, it's going to become a little bit harder to maintain this damage output. But more Lings coming, more Roaches as well. Just holding position on those SCVs. He's targeting down what he can. By the way, the Zergling's taking down a bunch of depots at the wall. I really like the fact he was making a thick depot wall, by the way. That was to stop things like this, but Dark hit at basically the exact right time. There was a move out of units. The thick depot wall was not completed. The Banshee was not out yet. He found like a perfect window in there to hit and did pretty significant damage, like 10 workers, plus kept everything back, plus cleared out the army. But right now, Banshee speed is being upgraded. You know, I guess he already has his cloak finished. There is a Spire on the way. Ooh, he gets in there and denies the Evo. So it's going to be a little bit harder to stop these. The Ling Surround will help out. But he gets 8 drones. Another Overlord being picked. A lot of drones being produced right now by Dark. I love speed Banshee builds, by the way. You know, whenever I think of speed Banshee builds, I think of Ryung. Ryung is like the biggest fan of speed Banshees. But Gumiho, yeah, I mean, Gumiho's... I've seen him use them a fair amount as well. Now, 9 Mutas coming out could be problematic. I don't believe we have an armory yet, right? Without an armory, we can't make a Thor. So you're trying to hold off Muta with Cyclones, only a few Cyclones, plus, well, he is making... Okay, he saw... That's good catch by Mapu. He actually did spot the Spire. I hadn't noticed that. But with the 4 turrets on the way, we can see that, of course. Yes, he did. And he was making 2 Vikings, so that helps as well. All right, gets 1 pick there. Pulls back to the turrets. Okay, pretty good, pretty good. Muta's going to retreat. This is such a teched out army from Gumi. Ooh, nice hot pick up there. But yeah, Gumi's army is like really funny looking right now, right? Look at that. That's his army. Not kidding. That's his army. Now, Dark has been droning like a madman because he knows that's his army and it's too technical and no real damage can occur. You know, these are all like specialist units fighting together to hold off anything that comes. But yeah, he's going double infestation pit. And that might be on purpose. I'm not sure. Like, I don't think it would be because I don't feel like you need neural quickly, right? So it doesn't... Okay, he canceled one. He canceled one. That makes more sense. Like, occasionally you will see two of the same building go down. You know, probably it would be most likely with the Hydralisk Den or something, but I think you see it a little bit more in StarCraft 1. Anyways, double armory, double command center. Tank production has started. Some corruptors being added in as well. Those corruptors are kind of interesting. Hive is coming up here for Dark. More factories being produced. Trying to utilize these mutas, right? He's got these mutas, and he's got to see if he can find something to do with them. They aren't going to be very useful unless he sends them across the map and does something with them. That is for sure. Yeah, good Viking play. This is something I've always appreciated about Gumi Mech. Very few players that play mech will utilize Vikings as an anti-air. He's been doing it for forever, like since he reinvented mech, right? The famous story of how mech was dead against Zerg and Gumiho literally brought it back by himself 100%. But yeah, Vikings were a big part of that when he did that originally. We still don't to this day really see Vikings utilized that much, but I love seeing these Vikings in here. Makes the composition really, really interesting. All right, sends down the cloak. And I tell you what, this is a little bit of an issue right now. Look at that. The Corruptor's getting in there on top of everything. But the Vikings bought the Banshees a lot of times, so a lot of damage output there on the ground. Down go the rest of the Banshees. And you know what? At the end of the day, like, Gumiho does end up holding on. His supply is pretty low at the moment, and his army is pretty ragtag still. Like, look at his production at the moment, by the way. He does have 2 tanks here, but they are going to get biled to death. Yeah, his production at the moment is just battle mech units. And he is getting upgrades still and everything. Oh, God. Landing Vikings to kill Banelings is not where you thought you'd be when you woke up this morning. But the fact that he's making only Hellion Cyclone, like, anytime I see that and you're under attack, it's like, oh, man, this does not look very good. Because this just doesn't scale that well. He hasn't been able to really keep pressure on. It's been Dark that's keeping pressure on him. Now, look at this. He dropped 5 mules. He's got to try to mine, but it's not working out. Dark is everywhere. This game is going to Dark. This game absolutely going to Dark. Killer Caterpillar. Show me where Stim touched you. God. So just a bad Terran army comp choice, huh? No, I mean, I think it's all playable. It was a weird teched out build, and Dark kept good pressure on him. So he never really got to do his drop. He never got his Banshees to work. He never really got to roam with Battle Mech. Like, Dark was just like a step ahead of him the whole time, I would say. But again, it was a weird teched out build too. I haven't really seen it like that before. But if Gumiho's doing it, he's either testing it or he knows it works, right? So I'm not entirely sure. Anyways, let's get into game number 3. Babylon, top left, we have Gumiho. Bottom right, we have Dark. And sending out that SCV very, very quickly here. What are we doing with it? Well, it's going around this way. So I guess, is it 1 proxy racks? That's like kind of an unusual thing. Or could it be an eBay block? No, I don't think it gets there in time for the eBay block going around like that. Okay, 1 proxy racks. Pool first. Dark sniffed something in the air. It's interesting. I see a lot of people talking about mech versus bio in the chat. This is something that I get asked about a lot in StarCraft 1. Not as much in StarCraft 2. But there's so much more you can do with bio. There is so much more. When you think about, like, medevacs and marines going around versus, like, a mech army. There's so many more decisions. There's so many more engagements. There's so many different ways that the game can be bent. That really makes it just kind of a better thing, although harder to do in many ways. Because it takes like a lot of speed, multitasking, right? Oh shit. We have 2 super regulars going at it in the chat right now. Okay. Reaper comes up pretty quickly here, so this could make Dark a little bit nervous to have a Reaper already up there. Overlord flying in. Okay, I think he knows what's going on. You see the factory at that time in your wall, you're like, oh, okay, it's like 1 proxy Rex, it's fine. Not a big deal. But he actually makes 3 roaches. Like, you can use roaches instead of Ling Speed as your defense here for sure, but it's pretty damn expensive to get 3 roaches. Right? Getting Roach Warren this early, then making the 3 roaches. Oh, that's so annoying. See, this can happen. Your Reapers across the map. Okay, so. Well, I mean, I guess we just wait a minute. It's kind of funny to see the 3 roaches go and actually do something here. The Cyclone is almost out, but like he's killed. Look at this, like good micro. He's killed the SCV that's making this, and then also the Reaper. And like, look at how annoying this is right now. Holy crap! These teched out Gumiho builds, like Dark is. It's very impressive, I want to say, because these are so uncommon, these things that Gumiho is doing. It feels like maybe he's experimenting a little bit. I definitely saw him experimenting in a cup before, but like Dark is, it almost feels like intuiting exactly what he needs to do to like ridiculously punish these builds. And now he's forced to cancel on the command center. That, my friends, is a game lost most of the time, right? Now, to be fair, Dark is only on 2 hatch himself. He doesn't have a great drone count yet. So, like, maybe as Gumiho, you're like, maybe there's a way here. Goes double command center right away. Sends out a couple Cyclones. Has Banshees being made with cloaks. So, yeah, I guess there's, you know, there's still a little bit of play here. Maybe he can get some damage done. Thank you, Stinky Cheese Pal. Dareland. Thank you, Dareland. 50 months of subbing. Appreciate it very much. Hope you're doing well, man. All right. So, 2 more factories coming. Gumi's going mech. All right. I like to see it. I do feel, by the way, like Gumiho uses this cup a lot to practice, which is pretty good because, like, people are taking the cup pretty seriously. So it's a much better practice than the ladder, right? But yeah, I like this. I like this. A little bit surprised that he's going mech. But yeah, I don't know. I guess his barracks is way out on the map and everything. He probably planned to go mech the whole time. And I mean, already Dark is going Roach, so at least he'll counter that reasonably well. Now, he's going battle mech, right? We don't have, like, mass Banshee upgrades occurring or anything like that. He's not, like, flying around with Viking. We'll see if he's actually able to get out there and keep pressure on. Single Banshee flying around. Yeah, trying to push his queen back hard. We'll have to turn around, of course, as the other queens come up to save the day. So Gumiho still trying to not exactly show what he's up to, by the way. This is kind of something that can be important. I think Dark already knows anyways. Like, I mean, you see a barracks floating around, and, you know, a Cyclone was one of the first units he made. You know, all these things. You haven't seen, like, a medevac fly out or anything. I feel like you just already know it's mech, even if you haven't seen the exact units. And battle mech is, like, pretty trendy as far as mech goes. Not many people open siege tanks and try to take a third with mech. It's, like, it's too inactive. So let's see. Magfield is about to finish. He's actually... This is a pretty healthy beginning army. A lot of mutas are being made. You definitely can hit a critical mass. Blue Flame on the way as well. Yeah, just scanning to get rid of some of these creep tumors. Yeah, look at these lock-ons. See, now this is what you want to do with Battle Mech. You get up here and you start trading immediately. You start trying to grind things down, right? You lock on. You can use some scans here and there if you need to. Just picking off anything. Look at that. Multiple queens, a lot of creep gone. The Muta's at home, though, doing some damage. Now they're going after these Cyclones. Tries to repair there. Very swift move from Gumiho, but too quick on the targeting from Dark. Having to send his Cyclones home. This resets what he was trying to do, right? This is kind of how Dark beat him in the previous game, although the previous game was harder in Dark's favor. But, well, I mean, obviously, this game canceling the command center is like a huge thing. But, like, last game he had already done a roach rush. I had done really well. He, like, really kept the tempo in his favor, and Gumiho never walked out. Whereas here, Gumiho has been out. He has tried to start grinding things down a little bit. By the way, Roach Bro movement on the way. Holy crap, I love it. I love it. That actually used to be a very long time ago, a very important tool against mech. Doesn't feel like it is as much anymore, but I'm glad to see it from Dark. I think it still absolutely has its uses. Ooh, the Liberator comes up. Dark very quick. Get those drones out of there. Trying to kill off that Banshee, but it does go back to its battle mech. Muta's coming all the way home for this Liberator. Kind of annoying, right? Not that they're going to get that much more done anyways. Another command center on the way. Siege tanks being produced as well. Now, how many siege tanks will he make? Oh, God. This is a decisive move from Dark. You never know. Is it going to work? Is he going to figure it out? He's just out of vision right now. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is crazy right now. He's going to build a turret right next to him. This is so funny. And it wouldn't build. The only thing, like, the only way that that wouldn't build is if something was in the way. Because this isn't StarCraft 1 where sometimes the SCV says, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not going to build it. All right, so Unburrows here on top of those siege tanks. And he's so single file. He's going to get the command center, but honestly, that wasn't very good. Kind of crazy there. Kind of crazy. Gumiho definitely slaps that down. And now he knows that that is something to watch for. So he does need to put up a few missile turrets here and there. Really important. Don't forget, he does have blue flames, so those Hellions running around, if you don't intercept those, problems can occur for sure. It looks like he will intercept those. I'm kind of watching on the mini-map. See, yeah. You do not want that running into your mineral line. So, Burrow movement Roach is all over the place right now. He is adding in some turrets. He is adding in some sensor towers. Hey, something's happening. Oh, he was killing the rocks. Okay. Well, that's a weird sound to play and not to show us what it is. Oh, single blue flame Hellion coming here to the top right. Being pretty annoying there. Oh, the unburrow right there. What? The unburrow followed by the burrow. Oh, the burrow was to get the lock-ons off. I didn't even think of that. That's actually kind of brilliant. It's like, that's weird, Micro, but actually really fantastic. Tanks come up in siege. The Biles actually don't kill any, just wound them. Lot of siege tanks out right now. Corruptors being made. Oh, we have to go into broods. Obviously, broods against mass siege tank is going to be amazing. I wonder, though. I wasn't paying super close attention to everything that's been occurring as far as upgrades. I assume he has the Greater Spire. Okay, a few Vipers being fielded as well. Damn, Infestors. Yeah, I like a few static D buildings going around right now for Dark. Gumi right now on those 4 bases. Got a pretty strong army. Neural coming up. Definitely good to add. Ooh, and more starports. Okay, so this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool, right? A lot of times in a game like this, you'd think, okay, he'll probably make some Thors to counter air, but it seems to me like it's going to be Viking-based. Right now, Vikings don't like parasitic bombs, so that could be a problem. But other than that, they do pretty well. Oh, fungal as well, of course, of course. Anything clumped up in the air doesn't like fungal or parasitic bomb. Yeah, the Broodlord's really giving Gumi some trouble here. He is making a few Thors. Okay, he brings up his Vikings. The fungal goes down, the parasitic bomb goes down. So you can see what I was talking about there. Those 2 spells, just such good anti-air. Look at that. The Vikings are gone. There's 1 Viking remaining. A Queen can pick that off very, very quickly. And down it goes. And so now the Broods just kind of walk forward. There's no anti-air there whatsoever. Gumi's dead. GG. Dark going to take that one down. Oof. 2-1 for Dark now. Little bit brutal. All right, we'll be going to game number 4 in just 1 second, guys. Mech Brood were just better than Z versus Z than StarCraft 2, it seems so far. No, it's yeah, maybe like by a little tiny percent, but it's kind of similar where you kind of want them to not expect it, and it's not the best thing you can do, but it's good to mix in. Gumi is the best mech player against Zerg, and it feels to me like he's testing out some things tonight, but I can't say for sure. But that's what it looks like to me. I mean, I watch a lot of Gumiho, so it feels like he's trying some ideas tonight that are not always part of his mech repertoire. We're going to go into the next game. Game 4. You think mech or battle mech is better? Keeping pressure on Zerg is important, and that's why battle mech is good. But I feel like I never see battle mech work correctly. I honestly, for me personally, I prefer BC into mech. I think that that's probably the cleanest way to get into mech correctly. Yeah, that's I feel like that has the highest win rate for mech is BC into mech. I can't say 100% for certain, but that's what my brain is telling me. All right. Let's see here. It's Neo Humanity, right? So this is kind of a funny map. It honestly feels like one that would be good for mech, right? So I wouldn't mind seeing mech here. Okay, he actually goes double rack, so it's going to be this Reaper opener that we've talked a lot about. So probably will not go into mech. That would be really, really weird if this went into mech. Although I think I did see one person do that once. But I was going to say that this seems like it would be an alright base map for mech. There's like 4 bases huddled together really, really close that get into the center. And then also that base behind the gold minerals is very close. So it's like, wow, you can actually cover a lot with just a few siege tanks defensively. So anyways, yeah, thanks, Mapu. Guys, you can check out Mapu. Use the command Mapu in chat if you want to follow his stuff. Now, it should, again, be the 3 Reapers into some other tech. We'll see what that tech is. Obviously, the game that Gumiho won already against Dark was like 2 racks into a 3rd racks, and his push actually did really well. It was a little bit quicker than normal. No combat shields, just stim. There were not any lings sitting around to help the queens out, right? And then he just kind of rolled him over, you know, with the follow push. Yeah, we'll see how Dark tries to deal with it here on Neo Humanity. I'd imagine seeing this, he's going to be remembering game number 1 and be like, okay, well, at least we won't let that happen again. Elok, thank you for gifting us up. Appreciate it. So the 3 Reapers are here. We'll see how much they can actually get done. Interesting 3rd base location, by the way. Dark just takes it in that back corner, right? Like behind the gold minerals. We don't always see it there. I think it's actually more common to take the triangle formation on this map and then take that one a little bit later. The gold minerals are not actually mined out yet, so Gumiho goes over here and will put a little bit of damage on it, but decides that he actually doesn't have the timing to get this, and I believe he's correct on that. It's actually... Maybe if he sees it right when it starts. But in general, these 3 Reaper openers should not be able to kill a 3rd hatch. It has to be a really extraordinary circumstance to cancel or to kill one. Although we did see a really cool game. I want to say it was from Byun a month ago in these cups, where he put a ton of damage and we knew it wasn't going to die, so it was like, what? But he got it to like maybe half health, not utilizing his Reapers for anything else, then followed up with a push that killed the hatch. And that was actually a very cool play. Because that really kind of... I was like, what? This is like... He knew he wasn't going to kill it, and he spent all of his time there. He could have, you know, gone after drones or whatever. Anyways, Stim and +1 coming up. Of course, we have the starport coming as well. And it is a 3 racks play here once again. We haven't had that walkout yet. Oh. He doesn't want to sacrifice the Overlord. We talked about this specifically after game 1. But he does slow him down, right? That's the quickest path across the map. And if you knock down those rocks, the rocks in the middle have to be knocked down to open it up. And now look how many lings he's making. So this game, just completely different from what we saw previously, right? Like in game 1, he died to the very first... Well, he didn't die, but he took a lot of damage the first push. He lost like 4 queens. And he had no lings. Here, the lings are ready. He's slowed everything down already. Like, he's going to kill all those. None of those are making it home. None of them are making it home. He can pack them as tight as he wants behind that tower. They are not going. In fact, that's such a good play for him to pack them in there, because that's as cost efficient as you can get them. And Dark may not want to take that engage. And if he keeps them in there and sends medevacs out with more... See, he wants this. Gumiho's really making some good, hard decisions right now. Bane's on the way. Lair almost done. Okay, he comes out, and as soon as he comes out, dead. Dark had no intention of letting that survive. It's too bad, because if he could have joined up with these Marines and these medevacs, This could have been kind of gross for Dark to have to deal with so early on. Now, he's bringing up Banelings. Those are not going to get up in time to deny any upgrades. Combat Shield's just is about to finish. But maybe he just busts through the wall, right? Bust the wall and just go right in. Damn, man. Look at this. He's got one Bane left. Okay, the Bane gets targeted down, so good move. Morphs more Banes on top of everything. Gumiho does have that drop doing something across the map. Okay, getting some damage at least. But the Lings and Banes over in the natural of Gumiho seem to be doing maybe more. Right, he's getting rid of, like, all the production. Yeah, he's just going to die. That's going to be it. That, I mean, these Marines definitely did their weight, but Gumiho's literally dead. He's got one SCV. Not for long either. Not for long. Yeah, that's going to be it, guys. It looks like Dark, after losing game one with some inferior scouting and just not being ready, has absolutely dismantled Gumiho in these other 3 games. This is some Marine King Prime shit that we're watching right now. No, he doesn't think he's Maru. He thinks he's Marine King Prime. Tears in his eyes as he micros his last Marine. No, I don't mean fantasy. Marine King Prime was worse about it. He is on, like, turbo mode for his micro right now. 22 more Lings being made. Dude, there's one SCV. He's right there. He's got a lot to rebuild. You start with more than that. You start with more than one. Gumi's trying so hard to be efficient here. Dark just wants to go get lunch. Okay, I don't even know what to say, man. Like, Gumiho's staying in the game with literally one SCV. It's like, but he's got mules. Look at these supply differentials. 51 drones against 5 SCVs right now. You know, I guess Gumiho, like, he is just going to try to micro his ass off to win this. Right? Like, that's... Okay, now he'll GG. Okay.